I'm Scott Bekker, a moderator and analyst with ActualTech Media. Welcome to our ActualTech Media Solutions Spotlight series. I'm excited to be here with Umair Waheed, who's head of product marketing at Yellowbrick Data. Umair, welcome.
Thanks, Scott. Great to be here.
So I understand Yellowbrick offers enterprise cloud data warehouse. How does Yellowbrick define that term, enterprise cloud data warehouse?
Yeah, so cloud data warehousing is doing data warehousing in the cloud, I guess is the obvious term. But data warehousing in the cloud has really grown from what we used to do when we used to talk about data warehousing on premises, and it's grown both in the terms of the size and scale of data that we deal with, but also in the audience of who we serve data to. So in the cloud, we want to serve data to many more people. Data is really so important now. In terms of it has board level visibility. People really want to maximize and extract the ultimate value from their data. So that means getting it in front of as many people as possible. So one of the things that challenges that used to happen on premises in the on-premises world or the legacy world is that we used to really restrict who could see data. So that's one of I guess one of the great things about cloud data warehousing. It gives us that size and scale to do things and to provide data to that broader audience.
So that makes the benefits really clear, but what are the challenges that enterprises face when trying to run their data warehouses, which they're used to having on premises, in the cloud?
Yeah, so it's the cloud is new. A lot of people have to try and learn how to get the best out of the cloud. Lifting and shifting legacy and old technologies to the cloud really doesn't make sense. There are very few cost savings to be made. So, learning how to do cloud well is the first challenge. The cloud also brings a lot of benefits in terms of agility and scale and elasticity, but that also comes with risk. So the risk is that you can very easily get into sort of a situation where your costs run away with themselves, because we find a lot of times data is so important that some really successful projects become victims of their own success. That actually there's people start doing more and more analytics, more and more reporting. Projections for cloud spend and cloud costs go through the roof. So keeping a cap on those costs is super important, and something where Yellowbrick really has some differentiation.
Yeah, let's dig into that a little bit. So what does Yellowbrick do to solve some of those issues, especially the costs?
Yeah, so Yellowbrick is a SQL data warehouse. So firstly, it's really familiar to people. So we are a SQL data warehouse. People, SQL is the lingua franca of the analytics world, and that hasn't changed despite the prediction of its demise many times. So familiarity. You can use Yellowbrick from all the tools, from Excel, from Tableau, from Power BI, all the tools that you're used to using, and all the integration tools as well that you're used to using to do analytics historically. So on one hand, there's very few new skills to learn. Yellowbrick also is built really efficiently, so we make much better use of the underlying infrastructure. And what that means is for our customers is that they can do a lot more on a smaller footprint. So that means effectively lower costs in terms of cloud infrastructure, and also the need to scale less often, which can help to provide a cap on those costs. But it also means that we can provide really good, consistent performance back to the end user. So again, coming back to one of those challenges, you don't want something to be taking 10 seconds one day and 10 minutes the next day. You want a nice, consistent, steady performance, and it's one of the things we pride ourselves on is being able to deliver really consistent performance to large numbers of users running really complex analytics workloads at the same time as your enterprise organization might be running some large data integration and data loading tasks. Usually those things conflict. With Yellowbrick, we have means to deconflict those, to balance resources fairly across all those groups, and really deliver exceptional experiences to those end users. And that's part of helping more people get access to more data is to give them that experience and not put them off by having this variable experience that sometimes they have to go away and have a coffee to run their report. It's nice, interactive, comes back straight away.
Gotcha. Yeah, that consistent performance sounds great. So getting into that issue of helping more end users get value out of the data warehouse. How are your customers using Yellowbrick?
So our customers use Yellowbrick in a whole variety of ways. So we have some very large enterprise scale customers that effectively build a relational data lake, a relational, big relational data warehouse with all their data pooled for all of their analysts across their entire organization. So petabytes of data across thousands of people. We have a lot of financial services organizations that are really lean into some of Yellowbrick's strengths around security and compliance. One of the differences with Yellowbrick is that you own all of your data all of the time and all of your infrastructure. We don't get in the way. There's nothing Yellowbrick sitting in the way between you and your data. So security officers love that part of Yellowbrick, the ability to not have to worry about who's looking at my data or who can see what. We have other customers that use us to help them deliver services to their customers. So we have a lot of ISVs and other analytics services providers that provide retail analytics, telecoms analytics, healthcare analytics, and also security analytics back to their customers. So one of our core marquee customers is LexisNexis, who have a solution called Threat Metrics, where they provide analytics services back to their customers. So their customers can query data on anomalous website login behavior to some of their web properties. So that's a service that they provide out to tens of thousands of customers worldwide. So many and varied, I would say, really strong on the federal side and the highly governed and regulated side of the world, where really that leaning into that ability to avoid having other parties look at your data or look at or be involved even in your platform. But a broad swathe, and that's getting more and more broad as we move into the cloud. And we can deal with broader sizes of customer from much smaller customers up into the large. But we really excel at that large, really highly complex end of the spectrum, where we're often sitting alongside other people's other platforms, other data platforms that are out there, and really helping them reduce cost and reduce risk and provide more of a consistent service to their customers, whoever their customers might be, in the cloud. We talked about cost, runaway costs being a challenge in the cloud. One of the things you can do with Yellowbrick is take some of those really challenging workloads and hype them off onto Yellowbrick, and get more of a consistent service on both sides of the fence, on your other technology, but also on Yellowbrick.
Yeah, that sounds really valuable. So if somebody wanted to get started with Yellowbrick or learn more, what would you recommend?
So we're a really friendly organization. Find us at yellowbrick.com. You can reach us at info@yellowbrick.com as well. But we can help you get started really quickly. Obviously, one of the advantages of the cloud is you can get started really quickly, particularly if you're on AWS or Azure. We do have our GCP offering coming soon as well. But yeah, just get in touch. We are happy to stand up a POC. The best way to experience Yellowbrick is to see it for yourself on your data. We do have some online demos and hands-on lab experiences that we can get you access to as well if you want to get started quickly. But best way is get started with your data on Yellowbrick on the cloud.
All right, fantastic. Well, Umair, thanks so much for coming on and bringing us up to speed on Yellowbrick. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Scott. Great to talk to you.
And if you found this conversation informative, check out our library of Solution Spotlight videos on YouTube.